Hey everybody, welcome to Open by Accident. Today we got another special guest with us. We've got Jeff again. And today we're going to talk about me buying a PlayStation 5 in 2024. So Jeff, last time you were on the show, you were here for some Friday night pickups. More specifically, some PS5 games.
Yes.
It kind of inspired me to want a PS5 because I enjoy playing the campaigns on the PlayStation 5. They have a lot of good exclusives.
Yes.
And I always find myself playing like the single player games or campaigns on the PlayStation systems. So what's your thoughts on a PS5?
I've enjoyed mine. I actually had a friend of mine that kind of talked me into buying one. I tried out a game that was on there that was called Astrobot. It comes packaged with the PS5.
Right.
And I played it for a little while, and like within 15 minutes, I fell in love with it. So I was like, yeah, I'm just going to buy a new one. So when I purchased mine, it was the God of War edition. So
Okay.
It came with God of War, which was an exclusive. And ever since then, I've just had fun with it. The graphics are just awesome. The game runs really good, optimized. Like most of the games you buy out of package, they are already optimized and run on a PS5. So, I mean, there you go. So, like the Black Myth Wukong that just came out, it was optimized for PS5.
Right. So everything's like better on the PS5.
I like it. Yes.
Okay. Speaking of that Astrobot game, I didn't realize that was actually packed in on the system when I got mine, and I was pleasantly surprised because it was downloaded and ready to play while we're downloading, a huge game like Spider-Man 2.
Yes.
So I got to play around with it, and it's really more of like a tech demo for the controller.
Yes, it is. So the controller itself has it has force feedback. So we needed the games you play through. Like one of the coolest games on there that I actually enjoyed playing with the force feedback was the Returner, which came out one of the launch titles. And
that's on my radar.
And that one's really fun. It's hard, but the force feedback in it, well, it's amazing. And I also play Helldivers 2, which has force feedback too when you're shooting guns. So that's another fun excitement part of that game as well. So yeah, there's like all sorts of things. The Ratchet and Clank game has force feedback as well.
Okay, so it takes full advantage of the what did they call it, DualSense? Controller. So basically, like the triggers will change feedback depending on what you're doing while you're playing the game.
Even the Call of Duty games have force feedback.
Really?
Yes.
So it might be a totally different experience playing Call of Duty on PS5 versus my Series X.
Yes, you'll have the force feedback for shooting guns.
So far, I've only picked up 3 physical games for my PS5.
Yes.
One which is like a PC and PlayStation 5 exclusive. I got the deluxe edition of Pacific Drive. I played a little bit of this. It's kind of hard to describe, but essentially you're driving around a wagon trying to upgrade it, and you're in this like alternate universe. It's definitely different.
Okay.
It's a lot of fun. It plays well. But it's definitely something that I can see myself spending a lot of time with just by myself and, just looking for mindless fun.
Right.
The other game that I picked up, I actually found this on the clearance rack when I got my PS5.
Yep.
I think I paid like $13 or something for it.
And the publisher for that, Naughty Dog, right?
Right.
Yes. So the Uncharted games are a perfect addition for your PS5, especially the whole collection.
Right. So this one actually, I think, is Uncharted 4.
Okay.
Which was the PS4 game, but it's been like remastered or upgraded for the PS5. I haven't put any time into it, but I have played Uncharted 4 a bit on the PS4. So I'll be excited to revisit this. I love the Uncharted series. And then the last game I picked up, which was kind of like the deciding factor for getting a PS5, because my son absolutely loves the Spider-Man games.
Yes.
He's played through Miles Morales. He's 100%ed it. He's probably like in the 90 percentile of the original Spider-Man. Now, these are the Insomniac Spider-Man games, but Spider-Man 2 is an exclusive to the PS5. It did not come out on the PS4. So it was like, at this point, he was ready for Spider-Man 2, and it became kind of a must buy for getting a PS5.
So on top of that, the first Spider-Man game that came out for PS4 has been optimized for PS5 now too, so you can play the first one in PS5.
Right, and then you're going to get better graphics and better.
The web swing's going to look a lot more beautiful going through the city.
Right. So I know my son's already put a lot of time into Spider-Man 2, and what people told me when I was purchasing the game is what he confirmed, that It's a little bit tougher than the other two Spider-Man games. So, have you played Spider-Man 2?
I have a little bit of it. I have a digital copy of it, so I do have the original one, but I also have the second one too, and it is a little bit more challenging.
Gotcha. All right, let's unbox these games and see what's inside. So with the system, we actually purchased 3 games. First up, we got Pacific Drive Deluxe Edition. Now this has an outer sleeve with some extras. Looks like we've got some photo cards. We've got a Traveler's Journey, which looks like we can actually write in, a little hard to open, and show our trip information. It's kind of neat. Then you have the game itself. Now this game was already open because it was purchased at GameStop, and of course it was the only copy they had. This is a game I've been looking forward to playing, and one of the reasons why I wanted to go ahead and snag a PS5. So we've got Pacific Drive. We'll just set this one aside. Next up was kind of an impulse purchase when I was buying the system. We've got Uncharted Legacy of Thieves Collection. So this is like a remastered version of At Thieves End. I think that's the 4th game in the series. I've only played the first one and part of this one. But we found this on clearance for $14.99 when we bought the system. And it looks like it's just a game disc in the case. Nothing too special there. And then the last game, this one's a game for my son. He's been playing the Spider-Man games on the PS4 pretty hard and heavy. I know he's 100%ed Miles Morales, and he is around 90% on the original Spider-Man game. And mind you, we don't have all the DLC for Spider-Man, just the base game, so maybe at some point we'll find like a Game of the Year edition with that extra content. But we got Spider-Man 2, the PS5 exclusive. This was the reason why he wanted it. And again, just a game disc. So that'll be our first 3 games, and probably one of the biggest reasons why we buy PlayStation systems is the campaigns, the solo player campaign games like Uncharted and the Spider-Man series. So I ended up picking up the slim model of the PS5. I got the 1 terabyte with a disk drive because I love my physical media. I actually got it on one of the PlayStation day sales. So like the Spider-Man game was down to like $49.99 from $69.99. And then they took $50 off either the digital version or the physical disc version of the PlayStation 5 system. So it was down to $4.50, and then I went ahead and picked it up at Target. So I have a Target card, another 5% off. I had Target reward points built up a little bit. So I think I paid like right around $430 for my PS5.
That's great.
So you've got the God of War one.
I have the Ragnarok version, which I actually had to be put on a waiting list on Amazon for 3 whole months before I could even get it because the availability was so limited. It actually came right before Christmas, and I was excited. I went ahead and dropped the money I was planning on putting on it. So I spent a little over $650 for mine.
But yours is like one of the original.
I have the original fat version.
Correct. So this was, yours was kind of like a Christmas gift, if you will.
Yeah, I actually wrapped it and gave it to myself for Christmas.
So, I mean, I think we're at that age in our life where we kind of buy ourselves Christmas presents.
Yeah.
I mean, technically, my wife paid for this for me, but it was actually a birthday gift for myself. It was just, I was there making the purchase, so we got the best possible price on it.
So I wrapped this up, and my wife ends up getting to show, where did this come from? I'm like, well, Santa Claus brought it for me, and I opened it up, and she goes, you're such a dork. And there's a PS5 with the Ragnarok version of God of War, and I was like excited. I was like giddy because it was like Saturday morning, whatever the morning was for Christmas. I was just like, yay, finally got it. So, well,
it was kind of like probably from our childhood where we'd snoop under the tree and we would scope out the shape of the box and go, oh yeah, that's my PlayStation.
And I know a lot of us has grown up with the opening game systems and stuff and games for Christmas and being like, yeah, you know.
Yes.
So that was the excitement of it right there.
You got to spoil yourself.
Yes, indeed.
Time to dig into that system and see what's in the box. All right, let's open up this PS5 and see what's inside the box. This is a 1 terabyte system. So first thing we got, I believe these are the stands. That'd be correct. So you do get 2 stands so you can stand it up vertically Doesn't really look like there's much to those stands, but they should know what they're doing. Got the power cable. All right, time to start digging a little further. Looks like we've got a USB-C to USB-C cable. That's probably the charge cable for the controller. Got an HDMI cable. We have a PS5 controller. We're going a little bit deeper now. Now I see the console. And again, this is the slim version of the console. Oh, it's got some weight to it. Let's get this packing material off of it. We got some paperwork. This is such an interesting looking system. There we have the PS5 Slim. I guess I do need the stands to hold it up straight. And then you've got your quick reference guide as well as your safety guide. So this game also does have a game pre-installed. It's Astro's Playroom. So it looks like everything that is supposed to be with this system is included. This is the disk drive version, so we can play our disk-based games on it. It is heavy, unique looking. Looks like I got two USB-Cs up front, the power button, HDMI out, your LAN, a couple of traditional USBs, and then your power connection on the back. So pretty basic, but this is the new slimline version of the PlayStation 5. So I've already got an idea of some of the games that I want to pick up. Recently, I've been playing through the Resident Evil games, so I'm kind of on that survival horror kick, and I want to start expanding on that. I noticed recently that Silent Hill 2 Remake is going to be like a timed exclusive for PS5, so that's on my radar. And recently, I've been seeing that the new Alone in the Dark, I guess it's kind of a remake.
Yeah.
While it's not any kind of exclusive, but it's a campaign, and I think I'd rather play it on the PS5. That's on my radar if I can find it for the right price. And that'd probably be in that like $20, $30 range that I'd pick it up for.
Yeah.
Now, this is after I get through playing the games that I've already got. I'm going to try and go about this a little differently instead of just amassing a lot of games all at once. Buying games when I'm ready to play them. So I want to play through that Uncharted game before I move on. I want to play through Pacific Drive a little bit more, and I want to finish the built-in Astrobot game because it's really fun too.
Yeah.
But Jeff, do you have any suggestions for me as far as must-have exclusives or good campaign games?
Yeah, so I have three that I've actually off my list. So the Ratchet and Clank has the force feedback I was telling you a little bit about with the controller.
Okay.
That's a definitely pickup.
Okay, and I've recently seen that on sale for like $19.99 for a brand new copy. So that might be one of those things where I might go against what I just said and pick it up now while it's dirt cheap.
Yeah.
So what else you got for me?
So, of course, the God of War, Ragnarok, and then the one prior before that came out, PS4.
Okay.
Those are really, the Ragnarok is really good for PS5.
Okay.
If you like campaign, the gameplay is awesome. The fighting's awesome in it. The leveling up perspective of the game is really cool, too. And also continues the story from where the PS4 one came off.
Gotcha. I guess I'm probably going to have to try out some of the other God of Wars because I haven't actually played any of them yet.
And then my last one would be the Final Fantasy VII Remake.
Okay.
So they have both the Underguard and the Rebirth, and they're fantastic on the PS5.
Okay.
If you like the action RPG, which the action part of it is really awesome.
So I don't have a lot of experience playing RPGs.
Okay.
I mean, I know that I've finished a couple of them, but like my experience is limited to like Earthbound on the Super Nintendo, Secret of Mana.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm very limited when it comes to like strategy RPG type games. But there again, I never really played survival horror games up until this year. So, I mean, I'm willing to expand my, gaming library and venture off outside of my comfort zone.
Most of those remakes are a little bit linear, so it's not like the ones that were like time wait from the original PlayStation. So it's more action based. So you actually have two different play styles. You can actually use the active wait if you want to, but you can also go through and hack and slash your way through it as well.
So far, I'm really enjoying the PS5. I really like the controller. The game interface is basically the same thing as like their previous generation PlayStation systems. So, I mean, it's easy to pick up and jump right back into games, even though I'm really late to this system in this generation. Do you have any final thoughts, Jeff, on the PlayStation 5
Some of the peripheral stuff, like the VR2 system, I know that that's kind of popular with the PS5 at the moment. There is some games I haven't not personally tried them myself, but I have some people I know that actually tried it out and said it's actually a pretty fun.
Now, I have the VR in the PlayStation 4, and I've really enjoyed it. I mean, it's gotten limited play with me, but I can see if I can find the VR system for the PS5 at the right price point, getting into that again. I don't know about there's like a handheld controller with a screen that you can play remotely. I don't know if I really need that because I don't play a lot of games portably. I'm more of I want to sit in front of my TV with my controller.
So the PS5 has really good remote access if you have a good in-home network as well. I actually have some friends that actually use their PS5 playing from their MacBook. They have their MacBook streaming the game system, and they have very little latency.
So you don't really need that secondary controller with the screen built in. You can use other devices as long as it's supported by the PlayStation.
And you can hook that controller up to your PC as well.
Yeah. So I think this was a really good purchase for me. I'm excited to get into these games and spend more time with them beyond my normal just playing on Xbox. But what are your thoughts on the PlayStation 5 family of systems? I'm really enjoying it so far, and I'm glad that I went in and picked it up. So we appreciate you guys taking the time to watch the video. We're open by accident. You can check out our podcast over on Spotify or stick around here for more content to come. Thanks so much.